Welcome to Nature Always. I'm Selena, your host. Today, I want to introduce a special guest in whom I've known all of my life. He has been talking to me about having a forum to inform our people and was compelled to get the information to the masses. I welcome Brother Goodwill to discuss, should black folks believe in Jesus? Hmm.
Hey, my brothers and sisters of the public again. This is Brother Good News coming at you again with real truth and real knowledge. Coming to you as humbly as I most possibly can. This is a subject that we really need to rap about. Our people as a whole, when I say our people, I'm not just talking about merely black people, but I'm talking about the whole world, technically. Those who are here in this country of America. I mean, after all, America is a melting pot of nations. And if you look at what the Bible was talking about in the book of Genesis, you could see that the book of Genesis was telling you that the Creator was telling Jacob that he was going to be the father of a people that would be a nation that comes out of many other nations. And they shall be a company of nations that follows Jacob. See, there is so much deception out here, like through the churches, through these different religions, you know. Our people is like, we're ready to hear truth, but nevertheless, we're not perceiving the truth. We hear it, but we don't perceive it. We see that there's a lot of people out there that's yearning to know the truth. And the Almighty, obviously, He sees all this. He knows what you want. Therefore, the time has come. After all, this is the end time. This is something that we all must face and realize. This is a time that's very critical for the young people to start trying to comprehend for themselves. Our people, America, is set upon a path of knowledge that we have not ever received before. Our people are so blind and have become so grossly uncontrolled in the things that we have began to do. Look at us. Look at us today. Look at what we're doing. We have become very hostile toward one another. And all this because of the way we have been traditionally brought up. Well, I like to get back to this question. Should black people believe in Jesus? What is this about this name Jesus that the black people seem to be so caught up in? Why do they say they believe in this Jesus when they don't know almost nothing about this name Jesus? Sure, they go around saying Jesus said this and Jesus said that, and He did this for me, He did that for me. But is that what really happened? They could say whatever. Okay. You go along with what they say. I mean, if that's what they say, if they say they saw that the moon was turned into cheese, okay, you got to go by what they say. Okay, fine. But we know for a fact that we as a nation have been misled by lies and deception, and that the real truth has not been told to us. And see, by us calling on this name Jesus, we continue to fool ourselves in believing that the Almighty is dealing with us through these names. The names of Christianity, the names of Islam, the names of Hinduism, the names of Judaism, you know. And it's just the time has come to be revealed about who the Messiah really is. And what is the true name of our Supreme Being? Our Supreme Being already knew that the time would come that His truth would be revealed, whether you liked it or not. And those who are the enemies of the Almighty, they will soon find out what time it is. They feel they can threaten everybody and tell everybody to shut up and all this kind of stuff. See, this is why I say it is time for the real truth to be publicized to the public. If the public is not ready for it, then oh well. All I can say is that the Creator is actually reaching His hand out to you and telling you to come and be humble. Unless you come as a child, meaning become meek and humble, you cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Now, there's a lot of people that take that literally, but it's literally speaking metaphorically, symbolically, spiritually, esoterically, cosmologically, eschatologically even. All these different expressions that the Hebrew language uses. See, you got all these people who claim to know how to read this Hebrew and that they're supposed to be experts in this field, this subject. But I'm here to let you know that there's a lot of stuff about this Hebrew that these people really don't know much or nothing about. They go around saying that they are the chosen ones. You got some who say they are the true Hebrews. You got some who say they are the true Israelites. Okay, first of all, I'm here to let you know that there's a lot of stuff about what you're saying about these being the true Hebrews and the true Israelites. Do y'all even know the true meaning of those words? What is Israel? What is the meaning of a Hebrew? Where did that come from? First of all, when you mention Israel, is that even talking about a certain nation of people? What is Israel? What do it mean? What was the original name for that word? What was used? Was it always pronounced Israel, or was that just simply given to the slaves in the American public, or the people who resides in the Western Hemisphere from the Eastern Hemisphere, which was the African regions? We know that the people of the black people of the British Isles and the black people of America have been deeply, deeply wounded with deception. However, we are in a unique position, whether you know it or not, oh black man. We are in a unique position to where we, as a people, can stand up and smile and let the world know who we really are. Because once that truth actually gets out, there's going to be a whole lot of broken hearts out there. After all, the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, it describes who the black man really is. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Wait till that info get out there. Wait till it really reaches people's minds. Wait till they really begun to conceive what the book is trying to say. That way you'll understand who these black people are. Black people are the real Messiah of the Almighty. The Messiah is not what you would call a singular individual person that's supposed to be coming down the stairway of the sky. Do not fall for that. You've been falling for that for over 1,000 years without knowing nothing. You know nothing. You ain't interested in knowing nothing. You rather stay blind, stupid, and extremely ignorant. If that's what you want, so be it. But I'm here to tell you that the time has come. We have arrived at the last days. Yes, people, we are here. We have arrived, indeed. You know, after all, we are at the point to where we could push a button at any time and this whole globe would be gone. But the Creator already knew this. After all, is He not holding back the four winds of destruction that is about to come upon the earth? Are we not pushing the envelope to destruction to destroy ourselves? Who do we claim to be? You got all these different religions out here in the world, all of them claiming to be the righteous one. But yet none of them know nothing. What do you know? What do they know? Who is Christ? This Christ stuff. Who is Christ? Who is Jesus Christ? Where did that come from? Who told you about this Christ stuff? When did that first begin to start coming out to the American public? Was that not passed down from the Council of Nicaea back in AD 325 when the so-called Emperor Constantine had caused this information to be passed out to the world? And why do we follow everything that we hear just because it's supposed to be some Christian, some preacher trying to tell you something? You automatically eat it up like hotcakes without checking nothing. Oh, I automatically believe in him because I know it's the Lord that told us to listen to this. Oh, my people. Oh, my blind, ignorant people. Oh, my. But that's all right. It was meant to be. And we was meant to be put in this position that we're in today. But I can tell you, oh, black people, as well as whites. Now, I want it to be fully understood that this is not an issue simply about black and white. Actually, I'm not even coming from there. I'm coming from a point to where I'm saying all people of the earth belongs to the Almighty. Not just some, not just a handful. He got the whole globe. He fixing to claim the whole globe. Did he not say he gonna gather his people from one end of the earth all the way to the other end? What do you think he meant by that? Oh, it's just a handful of folks over there he want, and a handful of folks over here he want. So he don't want nobody else. If it ain't black, he don't want it. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my black people. Oh my people, black and white. I mean, and those who are in between. The truth is coming to you, whether you like it or not. There's nothing you could do about it. Remember, there was a story that was talking about Jacob and Esau and where they came from. Was it not written about Jacob and Esau coming out of the womb of their mother, who was known as Rebecca? Well, this is the problem. The whole thing is that everybody takes the Bible as a book of actual literal events that took place back in time. But I'm here to tell you, from what I found out, you about to learn the real truth. Something that most of the public at large has no knowledge of. Period. These so-called black Hebrews and so-called Israelites and whoever else in between, they don't know nothing. And then those who claim they know something, if they knew, how come they ain't been talking about it? How come they ain't saying nothing to the public about it? How come the public is still blind to it? The Jews do indeed know about it. I'll say that. You're reading their book. After all, the scriptures is a book based upon them, right? Now, let me put it to you like this. There's a lot we need to learn about these terms they be talking about, the tribes of Israel. Were they literal tribes, or were they tribes of cosmology, of a cosmological concept? Was the book speaking spiritually? Was it speaking esoterically? Was it speaking metaphorically and parabolically? Did the Messiah even speak using that type of language? He said he spoke to his followers, his Messiah group, you know, his students, if you will, and told them different things. And they, especially when they ask him, they say, "Master, why is it that you speak to why do you speak to the multitudes using parables?" And he said, because to you, his followers, his students, it is meant to know the secrets of the kingdom of Elohim. That's right. It was known as the kingdom of Elohim. It is not the kingdom of heaven, as we are taught. See, all this talk about heaven and hell and all this kind of stuff, a lot of that stuff is basically made up to throw you off track. If you want to continue believing like that, then by all means, go ahead and continue following the path you've been following. After all, did not the book plainly say, "Enter in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and narrow is the way that leads to everlasting life"? Ain't that how that go? Well, I'm sure you all understand what I'm talking about. That part right there. It's saying basically, to get to the truth, you got this small, narrow little pathway you got to go down to, and got to go through all these little turns and twists and stuff to get to it, as compared to being led astray and going to the path going down the wrong path. Is wide, and there's going to be a great multitude that follow along that path. That's what the book is saying. Oh, America.
Yeah, what?
The American public, we're definitely headed in the direction of great destruction. And we need to start taking the time out and reevaluate what we're doing. We need to think. We need to open our eyes, people. Because the American public is the one that can change the world. The American public is the one that can save the world. Believe it or not. It ain't about just some little small handful of folks who say, "Oh, I'm this and I'm that. Everybody else going to hell." It don't work that way. You could tell by those who know something and those who don't. You got all these folks out here talking all this riff-raff stuff, talking, I'm this and I'm that. But you can see they don't know what they talking about. That's why you got some folks listen to what some folks have to say when they talk like that, and then they walk away shaking their heads, like, wow, they be in amazement at how stupid and blind and blundering these people can be. The Almighty has picked the time for you to become awakened. And this is the thing that we're trying to do today. Bring this knowledge out. Now, like I asked before, should black people believe in this Jesus? Well, what is this Jesus? I'll say this. The name of Jesus is combined of two idols. The Roman idol Eupator, which was known as Jupiter today, and the Greek idol Zeus. They both were combined into one. And from that time, they was known as Eupator Zeus. That's what his name was. That's how it was promoted. And then as time went on, they decided to cut the name down from being Eupator Zeus. This is what the Council of Nicaea has done. They cut it down from Eupator Zeus to just plain Ezeus. And this Ezeus was nothing more than what you would call Jesus today. So along came this brand new letter J that was introduced to the English language back in the 16th, 15th century. And later on, they used that new letter to apply it to the name Jesus. And they stopped calling that name Ezeus and started using the name Jesus or Jesus. And remember this, back during the time that King James was around, you know, you have all these folks saying, oh, I go along with only with the King James Version of the Bible. Well, let me tell you this, and hear me clearly. King James himself never heard of the name Jesus. So where'd y'all get that from? If the letter J was not around during that time, what was they calling this Jesus then? What was his name supposed to be? Because King James never heard of. Clearly, the letter J was never used in his writings. So if that being the case, what was he known as? This is why I say the truth is about to really start coming out. And black people, it's amazing. I don't blame you, but it's amazing how we have lowered ourselves into the mire and muck of stupidity. We have deeply failed from the consciousness of goodness and cleanliness. Look at us. All we want to do is try to mimic what the white man is doing today. Now, when I say it like that, I'm not talking about all white people. I'm talking about the powers that be. Because you got to remember, powers that be misuse everybody, white, both white and black. So this is not an issue about white and black. I repeat, this is never, ever an issue about black and white only. This is about people in general. How we have been blindsided with religious foolishness and prejudices. And this is why I say the time has come that we have a wake-up call. Because we are still in deep state of sleep. Excuse me. And it is time for us to rise and become awakened to the real truth and to the real knowledge. The Almighty is calling for you. The thing is, what do you want? Do you want real truth, real knowledge, or do you want to continue the bull that's being perpetrated on you and continue swallowing down the dizzy traditional stuff that they've been feeding you all along all these years? Yes, sir, Master. Yes, sir. I believe in Jesus because it pleases you, Master. Ain't that what we've been doing? Ain't we been just hopping along saying, yes, sir, Master? Oh, my people. My, oh, my, oh, my. It's amazing how we have stooped so low. Even the whole American public. And even over there, even in Great Britain, the people in Great Britain, you got people everywhere that want change. Many of the people of the world, they're tired of all this prejudice stuff. White folks too. A lot of white folks is tired of that stuff. Don't just automatically say or assume that all white folks are prejudiced. Don't fall for that. Those days are just about over. They want change just like you want it. Believe me. You shall know the truth, and that truth shall set you free if you want it. Our people has been tied up in this country for a long time. After all, the book of Psalms, chapter 120, makes the statement, it said, I have long been in Meshach. I had dwelt with a people that loves war and not peace. He said, I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. He said, I am from the tents of Kedar. Now, what is meant by saying that? He said he has long been with the people that loves war. And what he's talking about it goes way back, at least a couple of thousand years, ever since the time of the Council of Nicaea, the Council in Rome. They are the ones who gave us and manufactured excuse me. They are the ones who manufactured our so-called Bibles that we have today, or the writings that go to it. And their writings was based off of the original writings. The books that we have today are not original writings. They are books that's based on the original writing. However, they have been tampered with, if you will. After all, they say there's only 66 books in the Bible, right? But how can that be? From the time at the beginning of when man supposedly came on the earth all the way down to this time, you're going to only tell me that it's only been 66 books written. Really? I mean, if you got those who fall for that, you're going to have suckers. You're going to have one born every day. Every minute, you got a sucker born. I mean, you got folks who saying that the earth is no more than 6,000 or 7,000 years old. You got people that actually believe that stuff. Literally. That tell you they don't really understand nothing. They don't know nothing about this book.
Excellent. Turn the heat up a little bit.
They don't know anything about this book, how it was manufactured, or anything. They just blindly accept what it's been saying and have no knowledge of it. But they don't realize that ever since the time of the slave trade, how they were brainwashed into accepting this type of belief. Because before the black folks came over here in this land, they weren't necessarily calling on no God and Jesus like that. However, nevertheless, on account of them being caught up into idolatry, being caught up in the different religions, like Islam, Christianity, some this fake Judaism, some Hinduism and Buddhism and whatever else you want to call it. They all got caught up in all that. And by doing so, the Almighty decided to let them go ahead and be pushed into this type of hardship. Well, see, it was prophesied that we was going to do this in the first place. You know, we had just gotten off into all sorts of revelry and idolatry and all kind of foolishness, voodoo and all kind of stupid stuff. And the Creator kept warning us, kept sending ministers and prophets and what have you out to us to try to tell us, get ourselves together and try to guide us back into the right place to be. But we'll straighten up for a minute, then we'll go back and act a fool all over again. He had to send messengers out time and time again. But the time came that the Almighty got tired of this. So he said, okay, oh black man, seeing that you were indeed his Messiah as a nation. The Messiah is a nation. This is something that we're about to get off into really deep. All I can say is once you read the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, your eyes will indeed become open if you have someone to guide you through it. Our people are truly a great people, and we are in a unique place in history. But what do you want, America? What do you want? You think going to church is going to help you? You think going to church is going to save you? Really? Do y'all even know what this church system is all about? Do y'all know y'all have entered into the house of Satan? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's about to get deep now, ain't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure y'all don't want to hear that part. But it's true. The name God is actually not the name of the Almighty, like you've been taught. Neither is the word Lord. When you call the Creator Lord, you're actually insulting the Almighty. Did you know that? Do you even know the true meaning of the word Lord? The word Lord signifies an owner of slaves, a weird one, a feudal ruler. Think about it for a moment. You think the Creator would like for you to call him something like that? Do you really actually believe that? Look it up in your dictionary, the meaning of the word Lord. I dare any of you, just do the little slightest thing. Look it up in the dictionary. See if I know what I'm talking about. It's right there available right before you. You shall know the truth, and that truth will set you free if you want it. The thing is, our people are simply not ready for the truth. And on account of that, a lot of us going to end up perishing horribly. All because they so sure that what they've been taught is supposed to be true. But I got a feeling that they're going to see. They're going to see. The truth is out there, people. If you want it, you can get it. The Creator does indeed want you to know Him. He wants you to be close to Him. He wants all men to be close to Him, not just black men, not just white men. He wants the whole world. He claimed the whole globe, not just a couple of handful of folks here and there. Stop thinking like that. See, this is where you've been caught up. You've been thrown off track. You've been deceived and conned. Did y'all know that the name God is actually the name of a fallen angel? Huh? Yeah, let me break that down to you. The name God is the name of a fallen angel, such as like the book of Enoch. If you read it, the 69th chapter, it will tell you who this being is, who you call God, who you believe in. Your own book, the book of Isaiah, the book of Jeremiah, and the book of Genesis, they all three of them tell you about the name God, that God is not the name of the Almighty. And you see that the Almighty is very angry at the world for using that name or that term, God. So why are we using it? If the Creator don't want you to call him that, why are you using it? Oh, America, wait till you find out what time it really is. The truth is coming out there. Get ready. Oh my. Oh my. This fallen angel was once known as Gadriel. Yeah, let it be known. The name God was derived from the name of that fallen angel who deceived the whole world. Was it not written in your book of Revelations in the New Testament? It says Satan deceived the whole world. Is that not in your own book? I once had a vision where it says Satan deceived the whole world through the churches. I know many of you don't want to hear that. I know. However, that's just the way it is. Look at how much crazy satanic garbage is going on in the churches. Look at it. Look at how your preachers is out there just raping the people of their money. And the people love it to be so. They don't care. Oh, my pastor, my preacher, he preached a good gospel meeting today. Oh, I just loved it. I had to pay $150 to hear him preach it, but I just loved it. And every time he get up and preach, I pay more money, put it in the plate. Oh, I just love it. Oh, my people, we just love to get dumber and dumber. But we don't care. We enjoy it. At least we getting something what we want. We ain't getting nothing. But still, we hearing somebody getting up there saying, and we fall for that crap. Oh, mighty, mighty America. Notice I didn't just simply say black man. I said mighty America, or American public, shall I say. Because it is the public that's going to make changes and make waves in the world. See, like I say, a lot of people is not ready for a lot of stuff that I'm saying. For example, you got people talking about the name Israel. What do Israel mean? Okay, they say Israel mean he's a prince with El, or a prince with the Almighty. Yeah, it says that. But is that what the true meaning of the term Israel mean? What is Israel? What do it mean? Israel symbolically signifies the coming of a generation. And when they say the coming of a generation, the whole earth is going to be Israel. Spiritually, more so than physically. You're going to still be your same person, who you are. But it's just that the presence of the Almighty will make himself known to you when you're ready for it. But I'm telling you now, you don't have a whole lot of time left. Because the day of destruction is just right around the corner. The Almighty do indeed love you. He loved everybody. He loved the whole globe. White, black, Chinese, and all the rest in between. You think he want to just go out there and just wipe everybody out? Like, he know the people is blind and sleep. He know this. What make you think that, he gonna just pick and choose you and get rid of everybody else? And your sins is far more greater than any dirt bag in the street. Your sins is way more worse than Satan. You run Satan out of business for your stupidity. But yet you say, oh, I'm holy molier than thou. Really? Is that so? Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh, American public. I love you. And at this moment, I'm going to reveal a few other little things to you. The Messiah is indeed a nation. The Messiah is not a literal, singular, individual person that's going to be climbing down from the stairs of heaven, as most people traditionally think that's what it's talking about. It has never actually described the Messiah like that. But rather, if you read the book of Isaiah from the 48th, 49th chapter all the way up to 61, 65, and so on and so forth, you'll see that the book is actually describing the Messiah as a nation, plain and simple. After all, the book do say that Israel is my son. You read that in there. Not one time do you read in the Old Testament where it says Jesus was his son. You can't find that nowhere in the Old Testament. But there is so much information that needs to be told to the world and to the American public, because the American public can make change. They have the power to make change in the whole world, because the whole world is looking at you, America. Yes, indeed. America, wake up. The time has come, because our great King and Creator, whose name is Yahweh, has come. And he is sending forth his great and holy mighty nation, his Messiah group, known as Yasha. Yes, understand well what I just got through saying to you people. Believe what you just heard. When you use the word Christ, do you realize you insult the Almighty? Do you even understand what the word Christ even means? The word Christ derived from the old ancient Egyptian Indian word Chris, K-R-I-S. That was an old ancient term for the sun, S-U-N, ball of fire in the sky, sun. It had nothing to do with the S-O-N, Son of the Almighty, that you assume that that's what it's talking about. What they did, they took that word K-R-I-S and took a cross and connected it to the side of the word Chris and gave you the word Christ. Well, as time went on, they decided to drop the K off this word Christ and add these brand new two letters, the C and the H, to the word Chris. And they stopped calling it Christ and simply bastardized the word into Christ. You know how they mess up words and slander words and stuff like that. You know how they do that. Sometimes you can still use Chris being spelled C-H-R-I-S, although it's more of a fake way of doing it. But nevertheless, they did it like that to throw you off track. I mean, what do you know? You don't know anything. This is why they can pull these pranks on you like that. If you fall asleep and just fall for any old thing, they tell you just because they say, the Lord told me or God sent me. If you fall for crap like that, more power to you, buddy. All I can say is you better wake up. Because when the shit hit the fan, I got a feeling your little old Jesus and your God and your Lord and your Christ ain't going to be able to help you none. I got a feeling your feelings going to be hurt. And those other folks out there who talk about this name Yahweh, you who call the Creator Yahweh, do you even know what you're doing? Do you even know what you're saying? Do you understand anything about what you're saying? You say that's the name of the Creator. Well, let me ask you one thing. What do that name mean? What do it signify? When you say Yahweh, we know that means Yah, the Creator, is eternal. The Yah means the name of the Creator, and the Va signifies eternal, eternity, eternal space, eternity. It just continues on and on and on without end. So when you say Yahweh, what do this name supposed to mean? Well, okay, we understand the Yah part of the name, but what is the way part of the name? What do that mean? There's no such thing as that in this so-called Hebrew language. This word way. I wonder what it means. Why do y'all use it? There's no letter W in the Hebrew language. After all, the letter W is nothing more than a long vocalized vowel. That's all it is, nothing more. It's not a consonantal, major consonantal letter. Only the letter V between the letter W and the letter V and the U and the O. The letter V is the only strongest consonantal letter that stands and retains its own strength. You cannot camouflage the letter V like you can with a W or a O or a U. Whenever there's a letter V in a word, the sound V must be pronounced. There's no way around it. Now, when you say W or U, they are weaker letters. They are nothing more than small, minor vowels. That's it. But this word way, what do it mean? Y'all say Yahweh. You got these folks out here saying his name is Yahweh, and the other name of his Messiah is supposed to be Yahshua or Yeshua. What do those names mean? What is this? Let's look at this word Yeshua or Yahshua, as y'all say. What do that mean? Y'all say it means the Almighty or Yah saved. Actually, that's incorrect. When you say Yahshua, the word Shua has a meaning in Hebrew, yes, but don't have nothing to do with saving a life. It do have something to do with saving something, like saving your money, saving your wealth, or something like that, but it ain't got nothing to do with life. When you say Yahshua, that's when you're saying the Almighty Yah, He saved. The word S-H-A, Shah, signifies to save. Sure, everybody say they got their own way of saying something and whatever. But I can tell you this. There's a lot of information that's about to come to the public. That's about to be revealed to the public. Oh, America. America, America, America. You better hurry up and wake up from this deep state of sleep you're in. Because after all, the Messiah is still in a deep state of sleep, even to this very day. They say he died on the cross. Oh my, my, oh my. Do y'all understand anything at all what the heck is going on here? Do y'all even know who the Messiah is, or what was the purpose of the Messiah? What was his purpose? See, that little stuff right there is what messing everybody up. Y'all call yourself believing in something that you don't know nothing about. You know nothing about it. The purpose of the Messiah was what? To spread the word. That's all his job was. That's how he was able to save you. By spreading the word of the Almighty and being a witness to the prophecy that the Almighty had said would take place. And that how the black man would have to go through this punishment, if you will, for 400 years. Just like it was saying in the book of Genesis when Almighty Yah came to Abraham and told him, he said, your descendants will have to go into a strange land for 400 years and be mistreated by them. And that nation who you go to, they will be punished and judged. He said, but not until the iniquities of the Americans, or the Amorites, should I say, has been completed. Yeah, you heard me say the Americans, not Amorites first. I said Americans, yeah. Amorite, the word Amorite and America, or American, are one and the same word. This is something that we all need to know. And I can prove it to you. Let me ask you this. According to the story, I'm going to show you some fallacies in the Bible. According to the story of the Bible, where it said that the children of Israel was in the land of Egypt for 430 years. Could that have been possible? From the time they first went to Egypt. That Jacob and the 12 sons left Canaan and went to the land of Egypt. And they supposed to have served the Egyptians for 430 years. Was that possible? Well, let's examine that. Was Abraham a slave? Nope. Was his son Isaac a slave? Nope. Was Isaac's son Jacob a slave? Nope. Was any of the 12 brothers slaves? Well, according to what I understand and what I got out of the Bible, it say none of them were slaves. Especially if you look at the first chapter of the book of Exodus. You'll see that it's telling you that Joseph died and all his brothers died and all that generation died. And then a new Pharaoh, I repeat, it said a new Pharaoh came on the scene. Now the story technically is telling you that from Abraham all the way down to Jacob and his 12 sons, and none of them went into the slavery. They all died out before the slave trade came. But there's a problem with the whole story. If one of the sons of Jacob, whose name was Levi, he ended up having a daughter in his old age, I guess. He lived to be 137 when he died. If he had a daughter in his old age, and which they don't tell you how old he was when she was born. So let's give him an age. Let's say he was about 80 or 90 years old when she was born. Let's just give him that. Then, how old was she when he died? If he was about 90 years old, which we know chances are men and women back then didn't wait till they get 90 years old before they decide to have a kid. Remember, after Abraham's time, all that stuff changed anyway. So let's just say he was 90 years old and he died at the age 137. So you say the 10 from the 100, okay, 90, then you add another 10, that's 10 years. That make it 100 years. Then you say 37, what is that? 10 and 37 is what? 47. So if that being the case, if he died at the age of 137, then his daughter, Jochebed, who was born in Egypt, she had to be about 47 years old when he died. If we give him the age of 90, when he conceived, his wife conceived her. So, how old was she when Moses was born? The thing is, was her father, Levi, a slave? The book say no. It say Joseph died and all his brothers died. Levi was one of Joseph's brothers. And all that generation had died. So, there's a problem. If she was 47 years old when Jacob died, when the son Levi died, Jacob's son Levi died. Well, how old was she when Moses was born? Let's give her the age of 80. Let's give her 90. She didn't live that long, but I forgot how long it says she lived before she died. But if Moses came along, let's say she was 90 years old. When do it say that they went into the slave trade? How old was she when she actually went into the slave trade? Her father just died at 137, and she being 47 years old. If we remember, we're fixing these dates because they don't have that in there, which attests to what I'm saying, that this stuff is not literal. This is why we're having these problems. And therefore it's telling you that the children of Israel, according to the story, could not have existed in the land of Egypt for 400 and so years. Literally. That was not possible. So, if that is the case, what is this Egypt that it's talking about? Is it literally talking about the so-called land of Egypt over there in Africa? Or is it talking about the spiritual, symbolic land of Egypt over here in America? Because the name Egypt is supposed to be synonymous with the concept of slavery or servitude. And Sodom and Gomorrah supposed to be synonymous with what? Wickedness. Well, America has symbolically been recognized as the land of slavery and wickedness. So, what do you want to know, America? Are you really ready for the truth? If you want this truth, ask for it. Ask the Almighty Yah to reveal His truth to you. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be on your own. I got a feeling that those of you who going around saying they know this and they know that, they know the truth and all this kind of stuff, sure, you got folks out there that know the truth. But many of them is not trying to reveal some things about truth to you. Then you got those who just plain and simply don't know nothing. But they proclaim they're experts at something that they know nothing about. That's what makes it so bad. Like I said, you shall know the truth, and that truth will set you free if you want it. Thank you for this momentary time of speaking with you. I'll be getting back in touch with you again soon. Thank you. This is brother. This is your super cool brother. Your number one Ace Boom Coon brother. Brother Good News.